here, and you're going to learn more properly in your reproductive chapter that there's a uterine cycle and an ovarian cycle. And with respect to the ovarian cycle, we're focused on these structures. These are follicles that have inside of them oocytes. And during the ovarian cycle, these follicles mature. Many of them every month mature. And they mature by getting thicker supporting cells, as shown here in these three. Eventually, they mature to the point where one of them gets a lot of fluid in it. This fluid-filled space, it's called an antrum. And this is now called a mature follicle or a Graafian follicle. Only one ovulates. The rest that started to mature will be absorbed. There's no sending them backwards in time. They've already started to differentiate. So you get many starting to mature, but only one will ovulate. The remaining supporting cells, once ovulation occurs, these supporting cells collapse and they turn into a yellow body called the corpus luteum. And that releases estrogen and progesterone and sustains the pregnancy until the baby's placenta is fully in place. If there is no pregnancy, no implantation, then the corpus luteum turns into scar tissue, and that's called the corpus albicans. The brain-looking one. That's scar tissue.
How do you get rid of scar tissue?
We don't.
Ovaries are just big balls of scar tissue?
Eventually.
Is that why you get cysts and ruptures and stuff?
Well, a cyst is something where you get these follicular-like fluid cavities, and they do rupture and they are painful. But if you get too many of them, it interferes with the ovulation process. That's why we have diseases like polycystic ovarian disease.
Would scar tissue interfere with ovulation if you have all this scar tissue built up?
Sure, and that's why we end up going through menopause and we don't get pregnant throughout age 60.
How does it
Same thing Jim asked about uterine fibroids. Fibroids, fibrous tissue, connective tissue, scar tissue, that interferes with implantation.
how does it decide which one to ovulate if there's several maturing at once?
The one that matures the soonest wins.
Literally survival of the fittest.
Yep. Good.
Yeah. When we touch it, we can feel something bumpy.
On you?
No, I heard that.
Well, when you go in for your well woman exam, some doctors, when they reach inside, they will also, while their hand is up in you, they will push on your abdominal wall, and what they are trying to do is to feel your ovary, and they're trying to get an idea, is it enlarged? What does it feel like? But they're still they're feeling that indirectly, not directly. In order to feel it directly, they'd have to cut you open and then feel it. So they're still in your vagina. They're not even in your uterus, and they're trying to push that down just to get an idea of size.
Okay.
And that indicates the amount of scar tissue? Or
No, it just is an indication of, are they atrophying? Are they getting small? Is there potentially a lot of cysts? It might be more enlarged from all the cysts, but they're just getting an idea of how swollen or shrunken it is. I hate it when they do that, by the way. Leave it alone. Keep that out of your hand. But it's an indirect. They're not directly feeling it. Cool? Okay. Thank you.
So that's still, they didn't really answer like any of